Don't be a statistic. What do I mean by this? Well, believe it or not, but 95% of all diets end up failing. And here's the big kicker. After just 1 year, 35% of individuals find themselves back where they started, or even 5 pounds or more heavier than what they were before they started dieting. Despite their initial efforts, the journey becomes very challenging over time. After 2 years post diet, 83% gain more than they had lost. And here's another big statistic: men on average last 6 weeks on a diet, women last 4 weeks on a diet. So, how can we not be one of these statistics? How can we stay on our diet, lose the weight, get healthier, and keep it off and stay healthy for years and years? Well, there are a few things that are definitely needed. Number one, it needs to really be a lifestyle, a way of eating, and not necessarily a diet. So you don't want to necessarily look at it as a diet. You want to look at it as, this is how I eat now. This is my way of eating. And with that, it has to be something that you're not restricting yourself from eating to where you're going to be deficient of nutrients and hungry all the time. A low carb diet, a carnivore diet fits this perfectly because there's no restricting how much you eat. Yes, there are certain foods that you don't eat, but you don't restrict the amount of food you're eating. You eat until you're full. Make sure you're nice and full, and then you don't eat again until you're hungry. But that's the way that works. You're getting all the nutrients that you need with the carnivore diet. You're getting everything in the meat that you're eating. If you're eating eggs, that's you're getting stuff in that as well. In terms of electrolytes and so forth, make sure that you are putting enough salt, good quality salt on your food, and that will help take care of that. You know, people talk about, well, back in the old days, they didn't salt their food. Well, you know what? They also were drinking water that had more, uh, nutrients and so forth in it, and was actually better for them than the water that we are able to drink today. So you need to supplement a little bit of that salt and so forth by actually putting it on your food and seasoning your food that way. So those are really good things to get you started with how to make it more long term. But there's still all of those things that can come up, those temptations and so forth. The time of the year, like we're coming up here now to Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and so forth. And those are really tough times of the year for people that are trying to, lose weight doing a diet. And the key there is you really need a very good why as to why you are doing this. And it needs to be very personable. It needs to be something that isn't necessarily a goal that, say, I want to lose 50 pounds, because once you get to that 50 pounds, you've lost that 50 pounds. And remember, long term, people tend to gain the weight back. So we don't want that to be our why. Our why should be something like, I want to lose the weight because of this personal connection I have, or that personal thing, or whatever. I need to be healthy because of this, or whatever. And that's what makes the why strong. That why then will help you get through some of the tough times. You remind yourself of that why every day. Whenever you feel tempted, you can remind yourself of the why. Another big thing that comes up is, especially early on, cravings. So you want to have some things that are going to be able to help you with those cravings around, right? So maybe some butter bites or some bacon or something like that. Typically, you want it to be something that's more fat related. Your meals should be the ones where you're making sure you're getting enough protein and then eating enough animal fat until you're full. And then if you have cravings after that, try and stick more so with fat rather than adding protein back in. So let's say in the evening you're craving something, you're craving sweets of some sort or something, have something fatty. That's why I mentioned bacon. There's a lot of fat in bacon. Butter bites, very fatty, that kind of thing. Have something like that that's going to get you back to that point of that you're nice and full so that the craving goes away. Another thing you need, especially if you've done weight loss programs in the past and you failed with them and so forth, is you need an accountability partner. If you've got somebody at home or somebody that you can talk to and help to keep you accountable, that's great. If you don't have anybody there, maybe you can use social media and talk to somebody online, so forth, and they'll work out for that. Or if you don't have anybody like that, even there are groups out there that can help. I have a group myself. It's a private health and wellness group where we trying to help everybody, keep them motivated and accountable and that kind of stuff, help them along the way. And I'll have a link down in the comments of this video so that you can check that out if you want. It's a free private group. It's private so that not everybody can see all the posts that are in there and so forth. So that's big to help with accountability as well. There are many other factors that are going to come into play. Getting out and doing some exercise is going to help. It's going to help to make you happier and so forth. And it's just going to help all together with staying on your way of eating. I'm going to say not a diet, but way of eating and so forth. So that's another big one. And there's lots of others I can go on, but I don't want to make this video too long. But if you've got some ideas in the comments, go ahead and put them down there so we can all read up on some of your ideas for how you can stay on track and not be one of those statistics.